Welcome back to the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, bringing you the names that you need to know for the 2017 NFL Draft. We are presented by the College Gridiron Showcase. We wrapped up the third annual College Gridiron Showcase and Symposium last month. Over 100 scouts from 30 of the 32 NFL teams were in attendance. For more information, of course, visit cgsallstar.com, as well as the brand new and free NFLDraftBible.com website, where you can find scouting reports, player interviews such as this one, and more. So again, NFLDraftBible.com. Be there or be square. Anyways, joining the Player Spotlight Show now is a 2017 NFL Draft prospect out of Division III powerhouse, Mount Union. He's Bradley B.J. Mitchell. Bradley, we really appreciate you taking some time to chat this afternoon. Again, we're a month removed from the CGS. Can you tell myself and the listeners about your experience and what you feel you gained out of it?
My experience there at the CGS, I think it was a good experience. I finally got to play with players from all different types of divisions. So we got some D1, D2, got some all over, and I got to kind of stack myself up against them and prove that I can compete. And I also got to show a few NFL scouts, some of my abilities.
And was that the main thing that you're looking forward to doing, was competing with guys from Division II, from Division I? I mean, you had guys from, the University of Texas, you had Texas Tech. I mean, you had all types of different programs represented there at the CGS. And then you have yourself, Mountain Union, Division III. Did you kind of go into the CGS with a chip on your shoulder?
Definitely. I feel like everybody there should have been doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. I definitely went in with a chip on my shoulder, and I wanted to not only prove to myself and to scouts that I could play with Division I guys, but I also wanted to represent my school and let everybody know that I think Mount Union can compete with guys from all levels.
Well, I think you absolutely did that again. In my opinion, probably the most fun player to watch that week in Bedford, Texas. A lot of fun, absolutely. Again, well over 100 scouts were in attendance. You don't need to go into much detail if you don't want to, but what were some of those conversations like that you had with teams, and were there any of those bizarre questions that we hear so much about every year? Did any of those bizarre questions get asked to you?
Actually, to be honest, when it came to me, I was actually one of the few guys who didn't get an interview with a lot of teams. So, I mean, although I was able to show what I could do, I was able to impress a little bit, but I think my size might have been a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say it scared guys off, but I didn't get as much attention as other guys from NFL scouts. And I didn't land an interview, actually. So I didn't talk. The only time I did talk to one scout, but it really wasn't about much. I talked to him after the scrimmage. But I mean, that was really the only interaction I had with any scouts.
Okay. So
no, a few did call my agent, but after the showcase, but I didn't talk to any at all.
Okay, well, and let's kind of shift gears and focus on your collegiate career, BJ. Tell us about your journey to Mount Union. Doing some research for this interview, I see you actually spent a redshirt year at Northwood University in Michigan. I know you're from Detroit. So again, how did you ultimately land at Mount Union over there in Ohio?
Well, yeah, I was on scholarship at Division II in Northwood, and my experience there really wasn't what I thought it would be. I just didn't really like not only on the field but off the field too. So I ended up looking for schools that I felt like maybe a small school where I feel like I could maybe stand out. And I looked up some schools, and then I sent Mount Union was one of the schools that I sent my tape to, and who was the head coach now, but was the defensive coordinator at the time. Coach Vince Karras was the one who responded to me, and he brought me in for a visit, and it just felt like home. It felt like home as soon as I got there, and I made my mind up where I wanted to go. And I came in with intentions of maybe landing a kick returning spot as a freshman, maybe getting a couple snaps here and there. I was just trying to see if I could see the field, but I ended up starting midway through my freshman year, and then from there I just I don't know. From there I was able to put myself in a position to to maybe have a shot at going to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean the rest is history. That's for sure. I mean, like you said, you get to Mount Union and you get an opportunity to see some playing time right away as a true freshman. Like you said, I would be thinking the same thing. You know, maybe get some snaps at kick and punt returner. Maybe see a little bit of time at running back, being a freshman, being new to the program. But here you are, and you set a freshman record of rushing for 1,365 yards and 10 touchdowns that year, and you did start the team's final 9 games of your freshman year. I guess, how were you able to have that immediate success right away as a freshman with the Mount Union Raiders? I mean, again, this is your first time playing college football. You spent that 1 year at Northwood redshirting. How were you able to burst out to the scene so quickly there at Mount Union?
Well, I do think that 1 year redshirting at Northwood did help when I was a true freshman. I was able to put on a few pounds, not much, but more than what I came into college as. So I think that helped me, and then just I was really trying to get better at practice while I was at Northwood. So I was using those reps. You know, I kind of already had in my head that I was going to do. So while I was practicing on scout teams, while giving the starters looks on defense, I was trying to get better and prepare myself to be able to perform at a different school. So when I did get there, I think I was ready to compete. And then I always go in every situation with a chip on my shoulder. So even though I was transferring down the division, I was coming into a school with a chip on my shoulder, and I felt like I don't know, I just felt like I had a lot to prove. So.
Well, looking at your first 2 years at Mount Union, BJ, you guys had a combined record of 28-2. Both of those losses coming in the Stag Bowl to Wisconsin Whitewater. And then as a junior in 2015, you guys were able to blow Whitewater right out the doors, 36-6 in the semifinals of the playoffs. And then you guys made yet another appearance in the Stag Bowl, in which you guys were able to defeat St. Thomas 49-35. What was that junior year like for you to finally win a national championship after coming up just short the 2 years prior?
Junior was bittersweet because I was real close with that senior class. You know, they graduated in 2012 like me for the most part, so a lot of those guys I felt real close to. And just to go through it all with them, go through those two previous Stag Bowl losses, and then to finish it out strong, you know, for the seniors. It was my junior year, but I mean that was well deserved for the seniors. Mm-hmm. It was just great to finally get that hardware at the end of it all.
And obviously, no disrespect to St. Thomas, I remember that year, and of course they made it a game, but I remember that year everybody was saying in that semifinal matchup, all right, whoever wins this Mountain Union and Wisconsin Whitewater game, just hand them the championship right now, because we all knew that was the matchup to really look forward to. Now talking opponents, BJ, who do you feel is the best player that you've lined up against over the past 4 years? Is there anybody that specifically sticks out?
That's a good question. As far as on defense, well, my freshman and sophomore year, you know, it might have been in my junior year too. There was a guy, I don't remember his name, but it was number 1 for Wesley. I think he graduated already, but he was real good. But I think the person that gave me, I think he was the most talented, but the player that gave me the most problems was freshman year against Whitewater. Now, I mean, granted, I was a freshman. I was like 20 pounds lighter, but Whitewater had this big linebacker, number 44. I think his name was like Kyle Klotz or something like that.
Yep.
He was good. He was good. I had a couple opportunities to make him miss in the hole, and I couldn't even do it. And then that was just the first time for me. I felt like I wasn't useless, but I scored in that game, so I guess I did pretty good. But that was the first time where I felt like somebody had the better in me, and I was just there was no really way around it for that game. He just won that day. He was a really, really good player.
Yeah,
I think he ended up going to that stuff for a little bit.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think he did. I know at least he did receive a shot. I'm not sure if he's still playing or not, but it just goes to show that there is some true talent here in the Division III ranks of football. Now again, BJ, you finished your senior season just this past year with a career high 1,600 yards and 20 touchdowns. You're the D3Football.com North Region Offensive Player of the Year. How would you describe your overall experience at Mount Union? You've seen a ton of both personal and team success. Are you happy with the mark that you left on the football program?
I'm definitely happy with the mark. I'm not only on the field and off the field. I met a lot of friends here, a lot of guys that I'm going to know for the rest of my life. Just to be able to finish third all time, to be mentioned with, some of the campus greats up here is more than an honor. So, anytime you have a career like that where you can leave your mark in the stat book and win a championship and a couple conference championships, I just feel like I'm blessed with way more than I deserve.
Yeah, can't ask for anything better than that. If you can choose one game out of your entire collegiate career for a scout to go back and watch, what game would that be? Is there one game that you could specifically point out and say this is a game that I want everybody to see right here?
I would probably say my last game, which was actually a game that we lost. But I was kind of put in a position. You could kind of see the mood of the game kind of shift towards. We were kind of one-dimensional in that game, so it was almost like I was going against a loaded box in a sense. But I still managed to keep us in the game all the way down to the last minute. So I think that game just kind of showed the type of competitor you would get out of me. Me being on your team. To whereas if it came down to it, to where I'm the one where you need to rely on, I'll come through. I'll make the plays need to be made. I'm not afraid of competition. I actually look forward to it. So I think that game, the Mary Hardin Baylor game, in the semifinal this past year.
Again, we're chatting with the 2017 NFL Draft prospect. He's third all-time on Mount Union's rushing list, running back Bradley B.J. Mitchell. He's on the phone lines here on the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. Don't forget you can check out this interview as well as other NFL Draft material over at NFLDraftBible.com. Follow on Twitter at NFLDraftBible. And BJ, just a few more questions for you, and then we'll let you go. Really do appreciate you taking some time this afternoon. Fill us in on as to what your schedule is looking like from now up until draft weekend. Are you training anywhere for a pro day or a regional combine or anything like that?
Yes, I am actually. I train at home in Detroit because I'm still taking classes right now. I'm finishing up. Getting ready to graduate in May. Mm-hmm. But I don't have that many credit hours, so I'm able to go back and forth from home every now and then and kind of extend my weekends to train with my trainer John Vickers in Southfield, Michigan. Right outside of Detroit. So I'm training for pro day. I have a pro day coming up in Toledo, March 3rd. So hopefully I can open some eyes with my testing. I think I'll be able to put up some pretty impressive numbers, hopefully, and then from there, hopefully garner some more attention from some of these scouts.
Do you feel comfortable telling us what some of your goals are for pro day? Any specific numbers you want to hit?
I can't. A few actually. I feel like my vertical is definitely one of my strong points. I should definitely be able to get over a 35. I'm shooting for maybe a 38 and up. But a 40. I'm not sure actually. I haven't timed myself since I've been training, but I do know that my 40 is getting better. I'm not sure about a range. I'm not sure if I can give an exact time range though, but I don't know. I think my vertical and my bench press, will definitely be over 16, 17. So I think those two things are going to stick out the most, and then the 40 and the pro agility should do a lot of.
Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that Toledo Pro Day. Again, a really nice program, and obviously a lot of scouts will be there. I know they have a few prospects as well, so I know the eyes are going to be set. And they're going to be looking at you, and going to be looking forward to seeing the numbers that you put up at that pro day, BJ. If you could give yourself a brief scouting report, what would you say is your biggest strength, and what is one thing that you feel the need that you could still improve on?
I think my strength as a player, I think I'm very shifty. I'm very shifty, and I'm deceptively strong. I'm shifty in between tackles. I'm good in traffic. I think I have great vision. I'm low center of gravity, so I'm good at absorbing hits, and I'm also reliable catching out of the backfield. I don't have as much experience in the return game, but I think that's something that somebody probably would not be able to tell based off my stats because I've never returned kicks. But I'm confident in my abilities with returning kicks and stuff like that, like when needed to. Weaknesses, I would say, Obviously my size, I'm undersized in height, but my weight and my.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Is your height, is that a weakness, or can you use that as a strength?
That's the thing. I think it's a strength for me because I use it to my advantage as far as like there were many instances where during the CGS, which is the first time I really played with Division I guys, and the size difference is big between the two divisions. So I've never played with guys 6'5", 6'6". So not only am I playing against those guys, I'm also running behind guys 6'6". And there were times down there at the camp where they couldn't. I would hear them after the play say they couldn't see me. So I use it as my advantage, and it's crazy as it might seem, I actually hide behind some of the linemen there. So I try to use it to my advantage, but I understand why it can be considered a weakness by some, and I'm not naive to the fact that most guys want to bring it back to me, but I am a threat to a defense. I feel like, despite my size or like that. So.
Well, your resume obviously speaks for itself, and people will see your size and weight. And when they think of pro player comparisons, I'm sure you've heard the name Darren Sproles quite a bit. Is there a current or former NFL player that you kind of try and model your game after, maybe take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own?
Definitely. I know every kid growing up wanted to be Barry Sanders. So, of course, Barry Sanders. But I think, just more modern, speaking, just the way the game's set up now with satellite backs, I would say Darren Sproles or a Deion Lewis.
Okay.
I think those are guys I would compare my game to.
Hey, not bad, not bad. Final question for you, BJ. Really do appreciate you taking some time this afternoon. Let's say we have an NFL general manager listening to this very interview. Why should they want the running back out of Mount Union, Bradley B.J. Mitchell, a part of their team?
Because he can bring an element to the game that not many players can. It's just not a lot of 6 foot, 220-pound backs that can do what I do at my size, and then I feel like I'm tough as nails. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be the one ready to fight for the team. So.
Yeah. Hey, well said, well said. BJ, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Like I said, it was a lot of fun watching you tear it up at the College Gridiron Showcase. It was an absolute treat. And, again, congratulations on, of course, graduation coming up soon and, of course, knocking out this very impressive collegiate football career. And I'm really excited to see what your future holds, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.